Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Courtsiders. I'm your host, Eric, and let's go over some Landry Shamet film. I know yesterday he went 3 for 17, so it's not a good day to review Landry Shamet film, but nevertheless, he has been incredible this whole past month, and he stepped it up in the absence of James Harden and Kevin Durant. Also, you have Chris Chiozza, who's out for the rest of the season. You have Tyler Johnson, who's out. And also I think Nicholas Claxton's out due to COVID protocol and all that sort of thing. Right now, the Nets are a little bit, I would say, empty-handed. I think they have like 9 healthy players on the roster that are capable of, playing in a game. So here we have some film against the New Orleans Pelicans where he was really effective against the Pelicans. One, because the Pelicans have terrible defense. Two, because he's actually on a sort of hot streak at the moment. So let's go with like play number 1, which is sort of like a baseline pass from Landry Shamet. So we'll start now. Here we go. Here you have Shamet. So he jabs with his right foot to make Lonzo Ball kind of hesitate. He looks and he kind of goes past him, right? So he's maybe like a step or two ahead of Lonzo Ball right now. Lonzo is I wouldn't say elite defender, but definitely an above average defender. He flips his hips, so he recognizes that Landry is trying to drive in. So we'll go good contact by Lonzo, but he ends up tripping, right here. And Landry Shamet's just looking for someone to assist to. Basically, he tiptoes the line, and he throws a nice dart pass to Kyrie Irving. Steven Adams has his back to the basket, so he doesn't really know where the ball is. And you'll see this right here. Boom. And it's a bucket. We'll move on to play 2. So play 2 is an open three-pointer and a miss, right? So there's a couple of things I like about this. So you have Kyrie Irving. Joe Harris is a super efficient three-point shooter and is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, and also historically is one of the best three-point shooters. So, New Orleans is going to pay attention to Joe Harris. So Joe Harris knows that and swings the pass to Landry Shamet, who has his hands open. He's ready for that ball. He's ready to shoot, right? But what I want Landry Shamet to do in this situation is kind of process the play a little bit quicker and realize that there is a lot of space that's given here, right here, right? So Lonzo Ball is to his right and to Landry's right, which which enables him to catch the ball, pretty nonchalantly. But there's a ton of space in this area, right? Right between Steven Adams and Landry Shamet. He could easily drive here, right? There's multiple moves you can make here. You could do a pump fake, you can make the jab step, you could swing, you could rotate the ball to the opposite side. So here I want Landry Shamet to process the play a little bit quicker. He does shoot, which isn't a bad shot because he is wide open, but there is a ton of room to drive into. I would just like to see him attack the basket a little bit more. So you'll see right here. So he's here, he's waiting for the ball. Boom, shoots it. It's not a bad shot at all, but I do want him to attack the open space right there that the defense is giving you. So if the defense gives you something, it's almost like they know you're going to shoot. It's vice versa. So if you're a bad shooter and you know how to drive in, they're going to give you that open shot, right? And they're going to dare you to shoot that three-pointer. But if you're a good three-point shooter, they're going to dare you to drive, right? So they're going to give you that space. And I think Kyrie Irving does a great he has great awareness of that. So you'll see this play. Okay, Landry Shamet is the point guard in this play. But it's a Landry Shamet elbow jumper, so it's more evolved from his previous tenure in Philadelphia or in the Los Angeles Clippers, you typically think of Landry Shamet as a three-point shooter, but in this case, he's developing into like a mid-range shooter. So it's interesting. This whole month, he's actually been he's been increasing his two-point efficiency, which is a correlation to Joe Harris's two-point efficiency as well. Because when he was first with the Nets, he was just shooting threes, and now he's developed into kind of a three level scorer. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like a superstar like that, but he's super efficient and one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. And now he's doing like elbow jumpers and driving in and rebounding. So I think Landry Shamet is just it's basically like following in his footsteps. So here we go. Landry Shamet, little pass to Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown handoff, sort of semi-pick. Landry Shamet realizes that Kyrie Lewis is on his right hip. He's guarding that right hand pretty aggressively. Switches back to the left. Pervades the field. Bruce Brown again with a little pick. And Landry Shamet, instead of dishing it out to the three-point line, he just hits that elbow jumper. Bang. And with the shooting ability that Landry Shamet has, I think it's a gradual progression for Landry Shamet to hit those elbow jumpers. If the defense is giving you wide open elbow jumpers and you're efficient, it's actually a very deadly weapon because the defense won't know what you're doing offensively. It's almost like you become less predictable. So we'll move on to this fourth play, which is kind of like a Blake Griffin pick and a leak out by Blake Griffin. You'll see it here. Sets the pick from the left side. Landry Shamet takes it. There's a lot of concentration on Landry Shamet. Zion and Kyrie Lewis are on Landry Shamet. I think if you're the Pelicans, you would watch this film and say, like, why are we doubling Landry Shamet? I think one person should take him. So attention is being paid to him. Shamet knows that. He swings it out to Blake Griffin, who is wide open for a three-point shot. And he's going to make those. So we'll move on to the next play, which is play 5. And this is actually another Blake Griffin pick, I believe. So Landry gets stopped in the elbow and gives it to Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin hands it off, sets this pick. And Landry Shamet is going to shoot this. It does not go in, but it is the correct move to shoot that. He uses the previous play where they didn't single cover him, like they doubled him. He in the previous play, Griffin sets that pick and screens and leaks out to the three-point line, right? So I think the Pelicans defense is waiting for that. They're waiting for the pick. They're waiting for the leak out by Blake Griffin to the three-point line. That doesn't happen. And, in this case, Landry does make the right move by shooting that. So he doesn't hesitate, and he takes that shot. So he becomes a little bit less predictable if he's going to pass the ball or is he going to shoot it. So we'll continue. Here's the next play. And this is a pattern now. It's Blake Griffin and Landry Shamet playing the two-man game. It's just Blake Griffin picks and then Shamet. You're going to see this. So it's a two-man game. I think it's a good indication of Blake Griffin's size and Landry Shamet's speed. So it's a good duo right there, right? So this time Shamet uses Griffin's pick and basically blows by his defender. You'll see here. Uses the pick. Everyone's bunched up, and he just blows by the defense. Jackson Hayes is a little. Oh no, that's actually Hernan Gomez. So my bad. But he blows right by him. There's another play where it's another Blake Griffin pick. Blake Griffin from the left side sets a pick right there, and they get the mismatch with Hernan Gomez. And Hernan Gomez is too slow for Landry Shamet, so He just blows by him. Look, boom. Baseline again. Wide open Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown hits the three-pointer. Boom. So we'll go to another Landry Shamet elbow jumper, right? So Kyrie Irving dishes it to Joe Harris. Joe Harris drives in, basically breaks down that defense. Shamet here gets the ball at the three-point line with Lonzo Ball right there, right? And you remember that first play where, second play where Landry Shamet shot that corner three, and I said, like, I like the shot, but I want him to be more aggressive to drive into the paint. Well, in this case, he actually does that. He actually learns from his previous mistake that he didn't, he could have attacked it a little bit more aggressive. And in this play, he has enough space to do that. So he attacks Lonzo. And Lonzo has to kind of react to that, he's kind of caught off guard, and Landry Shamet takes advantage of that. So you'll see it here. He makes Lonzo Ball hesitate at the three-point line because he has to respect that three-point line. Drives in, and once he's driving in, he just abruptly stops and hits the elbow jumper, this is one of the, almost, if you get this correctly, I think it's one of the most unstoppable plays in basketball. People are afraid of the three-point shot, so they hesitate a little bit, and they have to respect it. You drive in, and then they're already one step behind, and by the time they're one step behind, if you stop on a dime, you're most likely going to get a good look at that basket in the mid-range. You see multiple superstars do this. You see Kawhi Leonard do this. You see an efficient shooter like Chris Middleton do this. You see LeBron do this. You see even Dwayne Wade when he used to do this. This is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. You have to respect that line, and once you're a step behind some shooters, they totally have an advantage over you. So you'll see that right here. Lonzo is not he's no slouch on defense, and of course Landry does miss this elbow jumper, but it's the correct play to make for Landry Shamet. They get the offensive rebound. Landry Shamet comes in for a three-pointer again. He misses, but again, it's the correct play to make. Here you have Trader Joe's with a nice steal. Oh, Landry Shamet with a layup, right? I like this because he doesn't hesitate at all. He just scoops it, right, past Ingram. And there's something about the scoop layup which I think catches defenders off guard. For sure. I think it's one of the things about the scoop layup, which I think Spencer Dinwiddie does almost perfectly. It's that it doesn't allow a defender to read your body as well. Because when you're going for an overhand layup, you can see the shoulder movement, you can see everything. But when you're scooping it, it's almost like you're putting the dribble and the layup in one. So you bounce in and it's pretty awesome. I think if you're experimenting, if you're younger, you should totally try to include that in your arsenal, the little scoop layup, because it is super effective. And that's on Ingram, who is, has a crazy wingspan. So we'll go to another Blake Griffin and Shamet duo right here. So Blake Griffin sets the pick on the left-hand side. This is a tricky one because I don't know where Shamet is getting this move from, but it does remind me a little bit of Kyrie Irving. So Shamet uses the Blake Griffin screen here, and then Hernan Gomez, is expecting Shamet to drive around his right side, right? So Landry's left side. Yeah, you go. So he's thinking, projecting, assuming Hernan Gomez that Landry's going to come from this side. Boom, he's going to go around his right hip, but Shamet does something sneaky here, and when he goes off the Blake Griffin screen, he uses one motion to sweep the ball inwards, so towards the opposite hand. So he uses his left hand to sweep it across his body to his right in one motion, which Hernan Gomez does not expect, and basically catches him off guard, and he has to flip his hips to the opposite direction, right? So right now, Hernan Gomez has his hips flipped to the right, right? But because of Landry's movement, now he has to flip his hips to the other side, to the left side. And this takes a little bit of time. It's not like 5 seconds or anything, but a second in the NBA is really long. So here you go. You'll see it right here. He has to flip his hips, and by the time he flips his hips, Landry is already past him at least 1 or 2 steps. So you see that sweep? You saw that sweep? It's pretty casual. Look, he goes around the pick, and Hernan Gomez is like, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna slide. I'm gonna slide. And Landry Shamet just uses his left hand to bounce to his right side. Hernan Gomez is like, oh man, I gotta flip my hips now. So he flips his hips. By the time he flips his hips, Landry Shamet already has enough speed to go past him. He does. And he yams it, dude. There you go. This is a simple one. It's just a little simple read by a Shamet to TLC who makes that three-pointer. This is another Blake Griffin pick and three-pointer. So this is becoming, a pretty recognizable pattern. New Orleans couldn't stop it. I don't know. It's just simple, pick. So here you go. Great shot by Shamet right here. He's square. He's got that bounce. Look at that crouch right there. Square. He's got elevation. This is a pretty nice jump shot right here. Perfect, almost. Boom. You already knew that was going in. So here we have a jump ball situation, right, where everyone's clumped up. And it's a sneaky play by TLC in this place because everyone's bunched up, everyone's ball watching, right? So he kind of just leaks out to that three-point line, and you'll see it here. Everyone's ball watching here. Everyone doesn't know where the ball is going, and TLC's watching that ball, but then he realizes, oh, Shamet's gonna get this ball, so he's just gonna leak to the left, right? Look. Zion realizes a little bit too late, and he nails the three-pointer right there. Boom. Here we go to another one, which is basically a handoff by Blake Griffin. You can see here, it's a handoff. Great execution. Pelicans are already a step behind, so they think, all right, well, it's a pick and roll. Griffin's already going to the basket. Maybe it's a pick and roll, but Landry Shamet sells the shot perfectly. He's already elevating like the previous shot we saw from the three-pointer, so New Orleans is expecting him to shoot that three-pointer, but in this case, he doesn't, and he creates a perfect fake shot into a pass. Boom. Blake Griffin, he's not the Blake Griffin of old, so I'll call this like a layup dunk. It's not really a dunk. It's almost there. It's almost like when you're trying to dunk when you're younger and you just can't get there. So, it's not Blake Griffin of Lob City anymore. Here we have a Kyrie Irving assist. So Shamet goes through one pick there, another pick here by Bruce Brown. Little pick, but he gets it in full stride and hits this. It's a tough shot. It's a really tough shot because all the momentum is going the opposite way. So he's kind of fading away, but he still squares his shoulders, which is a good pointer to all your shooters out there. If you are fading away, you should always square your shoulders. You shouldn't be, lopsided. So this is play 16 of this video. We went through them quickly, but this is a one-on-one with Lonzo Ball, right? So Shamet's going to attack Lonzo Ball by using his right hand to sweep across his body, making Lonzo Ball flip his hips. You're going to see it here. So Lonzo is facing to the left, and Landry Shamet uses that same move but with the opposite hand, right? Gets his right hand, dribbles across toward his left, and this move makes Lonzo Ball have to flip his hips, right, to the opposite direction, which he was not. He was on the left direction. Now he has to flip his hips to the right. And this gives Shamet a little bit more speed and ability to pass Lonzo Ball. So Zion notices that as well. He notices that Lonzo Ball is about to get, I wouldn't say cooked, but Shamet's about to be in that paint area. So Zion kind of notices that, and he kind of slides to his left, right? As soon as Zion slides to his left, you'll see Shamet realize that Zion sliding to his left. He no longer has that path to the basket. So Landry Shamet crosses with his left to his right. Perfect. Now Lonzo Ball went from having his hips facing his left side to the right side, and then Landry Shamet reverses role, so now he has to flip to the other side. So that's 3 hip flips for Lonzo Ball, and if you're a defender, you're going to be a step behind, and you have to have some speed to get back to that position. So Landry Shamet takes advantage of that, and at the same time, Joe Harris is realizing that they're paying so much attention to Landry Shamet that he could probably sneak away, and he does. So while all this is going on with Landry Shamet, and I'm explaining this to you, Joe Harris at the same time realizes that Brandon Ingram is ball watching with Landry Shamet, and he just sneaks. Look at this. He's sneaky. It's terrible defense by Ingram, because the whole time he has his back facing Joe Harris, who's an incredible three-point shooter. So you should never do this. This is like an example of what not to do playing defense with Ingram. So Ingram has his back to Joe Harris for some reason. He's just concentrating on Landry Shamet for too much, ball watching. Joe Harris realizes that. He just sneaks in. Look, he just sneaks in. He's already close to the basket. Shamet realizes that. Great pass by Shamet too, man. And it's an easy left-handed layup for Joe Harris. We'll play it at full speed. Here you go. Kyrie Irving, look, rolls around. So this is the previous shot, right? Okay. Here we have that play. Sweep with the right, come back, left, boom. It's quick. Everything is quick. So Landry Shamet has been riding a hot streak. Last night was a terrible shooting night for him, so it's kind of weird making the video today, but it's all right. We all have our, terrible shooting nights and shooting slumps, so it doesn't matter. I think he'll bounce back. He's had an incredible month of April, and I think this video kind of just shows what he's learning. He's actually becoming more of a well-rounded basketball player, I think, compared to his days in Philadelphia, compared to his days in the Los Angeles Clippers. He's becoming a little bit more aggressive, and I do think it's the veteran leadership that's telling him, hey, look, we love that you're a great three-point shooter, but we need you to do a little bit more and be more well-rounded. And I think it is in correlation to like Joe Harris's kind of arc, where he is a three-point shooter, but he's going to get rebounds, he's going to get steals, he's going to drive in, he's going to get some layups, he could shoot the elbow jumper. So it's just becoming, in all honesty, it's about becoming a more well-rounded player in the NBA if you're Landry Shamet. So that's the video breakdown for today. Follow us on Twitter, listen to our podcast on iTunes or Spotify. See you later.